Welcome to the channel. Now, if you've never been here before, that disgusts me on the inside. But if you have, well, sorry about your mental health. Now, we've been installing and reviewing all of the HYANKA speaker lineup. Just look at this one. Oh yeah, that nasty little slut. And this one. Okay, that was all right, I guess. And this one. I mean, if you're into subwoofers and guy stuff, yeah, you'll probably like this one too. But now, finally, the finale, the ES-69. No, that's not some random number I made up. That's the actual part number. I'm actually going to be showing you, nasty sweet little thing, how to install these speakers in the back deck of our Volvo 240, and at the same time, how to fabricate a rear deck panel. Now, most of these pieces are actually made out of cardboard. I don't know what the one was made out of this Volvo because it doesn't exist anymore, but my gut feeling is it's some sort of pressboard, cardboard situation. Now I'm actually going to use this paper, cardboard, sound deadening, vapor barrier, we're not even sure what's going on here, as part of our template. Now luckily it was an option on our Volvo to have rear speakers. If you don't have rear speakers and you're installing them for the first time, well, you're going to actually have to cut some holes upside down in the sheet metal, which is always awful. Now I'm actually going to take this cardboardy paper vapor barrier sound deadening thing and use that as part of my template. But I am going to add in a little piece of cardboard to extend into the corner so I can get all these little measurements back here. Now for this project I've chosen 1/4" ABS plastic. It comes with a textured side that works reasonably well and a smooth side that is basically scratched instantly. Technically, you don't have to upholster this, but we will be using some Ultraflex super thin carpet to cover up any of my terrible fitment. Now, just like in our favorite movie, Legally Blonde, you can bend ABS and snap. Now, this could actually be good or bad. If you need it to be perfectly rigid, wood might be a better option for you, but 1/4" thick ABS, nothing to slouch out strength-wise. But now that we got like a rough cut on her, we're gonna go back here and mark with a Sharpie all the areas that are just not really lining up. And remember to take a look at it from outside the car, because from inside it looks okay, but when you get out here, this sharp line doesn't really look normal. Now I wanna vacuum all this crap off of our back deck and give her a good old-fashioned wipe job. Now this next step, it's optional. I'm gonna install a whole bunch of beetle mat sound deadening and foam back here. Now, as you can already tell, I'm a little bit slutty for it, but we're not gonna be doing any sound deadening testing. Now, normally you and I, like 4 of you probably, really get off to me doing the decibel testing of before and after. The issue with this one is I don't have a baseline besides not having a deck lid. I don't think that's a fair comparison, just putting a deck lid in. That's like not having carpet and then putting carpet in and like, I got quieter. But there is gonna be a secondary benefit to installing the beetle mat and the foam. Well, we're gonna actually add carpet to the back trim around the window. Now, that's not exactly how Volvo did it, but adding that extra layer of thickness and smoothiness, which I'm pretty sure is a hell of a word, that'll make it so we don't have to make extra curves and compound convex triangles on our back deck. It's just truly a flat piece that's going in here and we'll carpet around it. For our install, I need like a 4.5" wide piece of carpet. Cut you whatever you need, and preferably a long enough piece that it goes side to side and you don't have to graft them together. Now, me personally, I like to spray the heck out of the car side and then just a little bit on the carpet. You really do need to stick it to both so they ironically stick together. But if you get too close to the edge on the carpet, well, it'll come on the front side and it's really hard to pick off. If you do overspray it, wait till it dries and then try to brush it out later. Do not do it while it's wet or you're just gonna glue all the fibers together. That's why I kind of recommend just going super light on the backside, but do whatever you want. It's fine. And by using just a little bit of masking tape and the DNA of a extinct woolly mammoth, well, I was able to recreate that panel that I've terribly ripped out on the backside of our ABS panel. Now all I gotta do is trace around the outside and cut it out with a jigsaw, or whatever saw pleases you the most. Once you've got your plastic or wood piece fitted well enough that it fits in the car, go ahead and get in from the back and mark everything with a Sharpie on the back side. That way the actual fabricated piece that you know fits in there, well, everything will line up with that. And now we come to my first complaint about these HYANKA speakers. If you're a speaker manufacturer, looking at you HYANKA, probably Temu. But if you're going to sell beautiful people like you and I, speakers, you should include a template for where you should drill holes all the way around the outside, like two trailer park girls, and where to cut the hole to mount it into your panel. Unfortunately, HYANKA provides none of that, and the bare minimum, few speaker manufacturers out there actually die cut their packaging, so you can just tear that out and use that as your template. But your Matt Dad $10,000 tip is, well, just try to trace on this inside perimeter edge of the speaker grill. I know that's not optimal and leaves a lot of room for error, but that's the closest I can get if you're cutting this out and don't have a template for an oval. Now here you can see the Sharpie marks I've made. Now I'm gonna go ahead and drill out the holes for the seatbelt stuff to a 1/2 inch. That's the biggest regular drill bit I have here. That'll give me plenty of space for what looks like a 3/8 inch bolt to penetrate my insides. And here we are. That is a good looking panel. Well, it looks okay. Let's throw some carpet on it. There you go, looking good. We're gonna go ahead and try out the DAP Weldwood spray adhesive. Let me just stop you right there. It's awful. I have never used the spray adhesive version of Lando top adhesive. This stuff doesn't even smell like it's gonna stick. Like, I expect just to get a little bit high off of this stuff. Like, that's half the reason I'm doing this project, is just to get stoned. But it doesn't even smell like normal top adhesive. Just go ahead and buy the gallon, the regular tub of this stuff, and either brush, roll, or spray it on. Don't waste your money with this. I 100% believe that like the 3M high temperature spray adhesive is a better product than what they're trying to sell in this camp. Now I went ahead and threw some staples around the edge just to make sure our carpet never peels back. And there you have her, all ready to go back in the car. Now let's just go ahead and pump the brakes for a second on our rear deck install and take a look at the ES-69. Nice speakers before we install them. This is the outside of the box. Okay, not bad. This is where the magic happens, on the inside. Not a bad looking speaker, honestly. It looks like it's constructed decently for an entry-level speaker. Got a rubber surround and plastic cone. Now I do like the brushed metal look of their cone material, but at the end of the day, it's just plastic. I'm a little confused on the 4-way tweeter setup. My guess is that it doesn't do anything, and it's kind of just a marketing gimmick. I'm not a big fan of 4-way coaxial speakers. I kind of just think it's okay to have a little tweeter, 1-inch silk dome, and then like a 6.5-inch woofer component set. Or if you want to go coaxial, you marry them together and it sounds pretty darn good. And one more brownie point for aesthetics. It has a nice speaker grill. Some speaker grills look a little bit Tron meets Cyberpunk 2074, and I don't know what's going on. So let's go ahead and go back out of the car, wire these pig bitches in. Now the HYANKA speakers actually comes with a little bit of wire and speaker connections, but I like to go ahead and solder the connections to the back of the speaker. That way, we know it's probably-ish as good as we can do, sort of. And now that we got the head unit all wired up, let's pump the jams, see how these things actually sound. So, the $1 billion question, or in this case about 30 bucks on Amazon. Should I buy these? Well, not bad, but they're also, they leave a little bit on the table. I do not, after listening to them, I do not believe the 4-way tweeter setup is, well, 3-way tweeter setup, 4-way is it's fine. I don't think it's worth it. I'm, call me old school, a 6.5-inch girl. Sounds weird to say out loud. I would actually buy an adapter to go from 6x9 speaker to go to 6.5-inch and then up my speaker quality just a little bit to get into that mid-range price point of 50 to 60 if I wanted to take it to Pound Town and install a subwoofer. Now, I'm not saying they're bad speakers or I wouldn't buy them. 6x9 speakers just give a tiny bit more bass at the cost of a little bit of extra distortion because the cone's not round shape and you get into some weird soundscape stuff with ovals. If you were replacing stock speakers that had their back end blown out of them, that were probably paper cone and 20 years old, these are a great upgrade because it's better than nothing. And that's what we're about here. Better than basically nothing. So join us next time when we do something, probably. Maybe it's these wheels I'll finally put on. I don't know. See what happens. God damn it. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're gonna be... all that noise for like 6 horsepower. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut the bolt holes out to the largest drill size I got, which is a 1/4 inch. That just gives us, no, it's not a 1/4 inch, it's more than that. It's at least a 1/4 inch, maybe 2 1/4 inches. 2 1/4 inches, 1/2 inch.